Will Byers potentially hinted at a new villain going into Season 5, and absolutely nobody is talking about it. Before I get into it, though, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're going for 25K, so I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, let's talk about how Will Byers potentially hinted at a new villain going to Season 5 of Stranger Things. So at the end of Season 3, Will Byers was painting something, and everybody thought it was for Mike, and it was for Mike, and everybody thought it was like him coming out to Mike or whatever, and it was, but it wasn't, and all this stuff. But I feel like a lot of people were blinded about the fact that Will was just coming out as gay, right? Well, I don't think people actually looked at the painting when he showed Mike the painting. Like, they looked at it, but they were just like, oh, Mike's the heart, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like there was a lot more to go into this painting, because if you remember in Season 1, when Will started seeing the Mind Flayer and he got caught with the Mind Flayer or whatever, and they told him to draw the Mind Flayer, or I don't know if they told him, but he drew the Mind Flayer, and he drew it exactly how he saw it, right? And we all know how Will still has that connection with the Mind Flayer. So, you know, who's to say that he can't draw another villain if he has visions of another villain, you know? He drew this painting, but did this dragon to the right of me right here, did it just, you know, come out of nowhere? Or, you know, did he see that in a vision, or is it the Duffers just foreshadowing? You know, how is that going to line up? But basically, the dragons to the right of me right here are representing the dragons to the left of me right here, which is basically Tiamat, which is a villain from D&D. And we all know Stranger Things is based around D&D. So my theory is that Will not only came out to Mike as gay with his painting, but he also used that painting to foreshadow the final boss in the Stranger Things TV show. Obviously, Stranger Things is going to continue on with spin-offs and movies and all that sort of stuff going on in the future. But right now, I believe that Will hinted with that painting who the final villain is going to go or at the end of Season 5. And I think it's Tiamat, which is a final boss in D&D. So I don't think this is a far-fetched theory because, like we said, Will already drew the Mind Flayer. Why couldn't he draw another villain? And they hyped this painting up so much that everybody thought it was going to be like, you know, about him being gay, which it sort of was, but it was mainly just him talking about it, right? But like the painting didn't represent him, you know, coming out as gay. It was just representing how Mike is special. But I feel like they hyped this painting up so much and it didn't really live up to the hype as so we thought. But I believe the hype was supposed to be built around this theory that this three-headed dragon over here is this three-headed dragon over here from D&D, which is the whole entire base. Like, the Stranger Things is literally based around D&D. They played it. They were playing it at the beginning of the show when it first started. So I do not think this is a far-fetched theory. And this also, like, makes a lot of sense going with, like, Vecna's not the final boss. Vecna's not the final whatever. So I feel like that makes a lot of sense. But maybe Vecna is. Maybe just Vecna's connected with this dragon. But I don't believe that Vecna is the final boss. I feel like Vecna might be killed like early on, and then they're gonna realize that, oh, there's one last thing, or maybe I'm wrong, and then everything will just happen at the end of the show. And maybe this was part of the hint that the Duffer Brothers gave out after the Season 4 release or whatever. They said that Will Byers is gonna play a huge role in Season 5. Maybe he has a connection with this dragon. And we already know his connection with Vecna and all that, but maybe he has a connection with this dragon. That's why he drew it, and you know, so on and so forth. So I feel like this is gonna be a whole entire thing. And the Duffer Brothers also mentioned as well. This doesn't really relate to the theory, but they mentioned as well that Season 5 is gonna be shorter, as in like there's not gonna be a lot of build up. So the build up for Season 5 was throughout Season 4. So I feel like Season 4 and Season 5 are gonna, like, you know, coexist sort of. Season 4 is going to build up, or it built up right into Season 5, because the end of Season 4 ended with them on the hill looking over Hawkins, blah, 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 connecting, or, you know, merging with the Upside Down. So they said that the Season 5 is going to start right in the battle. They're going to go right in the action. Like, Season 5 literally might start with them fighting someone or something. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this rolls out, but I do believe that them saying that Will Byers is going to have a huge role in Season 5 could have something to do with him foreshadowing the future or final villain of Stranger Things, the TV show. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this theory. Personally, I think it's very realistic. Whenever I've seen this, I thought it was on the dot, on the money. It makes so much sense. He already drew the villain before. why wouldn't he, or why couldn't he, draw the villain once again? And it kind of like goes along with the Duffers writing, because they kind of made it all about him coming out as gay or whatever, but low key, it's showing what season 5 is going to be all about. And when I heard that Tiamat is a final boss in D&D, it makes so much sense. So personally, I think it's true. I think it's going to happen, but I guess we're never going to know until 2024. But until then, we just got to keep making theories and all that stuff. But I'm going to be posting daily TV show content, daily Stranger Things content over here, guys. So if you have any suggestions, of what content you want me to make, drop them down below. And I'm also going to be starting a new series where I rate TV shows. So if you have any TV shows you want me to watch and rate, drop them down below. And yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.